to, well, in many ways, just a game that sums the season up.
Absolutely, Pete. 1-0 up, playing well. Have you seen an on goal like it? Just listen, it sums us up. I'm not going to make any excuses. I thought some of the stuff first half was really good. I think it looked a bit leggy, second, a bit tired second half. Just a complete summing up of our season, to be honest. Some good stuff. Lost the lead, and just didn't do enough to get. Had a few chances. Thought we had a decent penalty shout before they scored. Just after half time. The lads were convinced it was a pen, but listen, I'm not going to complain about that or get into trouble about that. We gave a few young boys a go in it, and I thought first half did exactly what we asked of them, bar the goals that we conceded. The first one was ridiculous. The second one was poor on our part. First of all, we conceded the free kick, then the ball in and getting a lad round the back, and then the third one just sums us up.
Have we got any idea what Sido was trying to do?
Sorry?
Any idea what Sido was trying to do for the first one? Because it's going to be on a few bloopers, isn't it?
It certainly is, yeah. You'd have to ask him. I have no idea. We wanted him to play, and we wanted him to pass the ball. We wanted him to be able to knock it around at the back, and I thought at times we did that well. We split. We got the full-backs going forward. I think Sido had a chance from my recollection at half time when I watched it. I think Sido stepped. Joe Hanks won it back on the edge of the box, knocked it to Sido, who could have played forward. Knocked it to Michael, who came out with it, could have played forward. Gone back to Sido, and it was just like a flick. I mean, even if Connor's stood on his goal line, it's bouncing up round his throat. It's a hell of a ball for him to have to deal with. I felt really sorry for Connor there. He knew he couldn't handle it, but maybe in hindsight, maybe he could have handled it, giving away an indirect free kick 10 yards out. It was a terrible ball. Just frustrating.
On the more positive side, Joe Hanks' free kick for the first goal, Harry
Quality.
Williams' level for the second goal.
Yeah. Listen, we know that the young boys have got a bit of talent, and it's up to us to nurture it and get it out there as much as we can. But at the right time today was just a time to give them a go. And I thought, particularly first half, the movement was good. He kept it well at times. There's always stuff we can do better, but they weren't the problem. Just when you're giving goals away like the goals that we give, it's just mind-boggling. We're up. You've criticised us for goals scored sometimes, but I understand. I think there's only 8 teams who've scored more goals than us in the league, but it's at the other end. I think there's only 2 teams who've conceded more than us, so that's been the main problem. But it's been throughout the team really. Now we get a chance to reflect on it, speak to the players on during the week, and then just seeing where we go from there.
It's going to be a busy summer for you.
It's going to be a busy summer, yeah. We need to recruit properly. We've got some targets we'll try and get them as soon as we can. Just try and make sure everything's better than it has been this season. I'm as frustrated as the supporters. But we've decided where we're going. It's now time to reflect on this one and just learn from it and make sure that we all come back united next season.
What do you think are the key things you've learned from this season?
You can't give away the goals that we give away. I think they're massively. If you look at the number of points that games where we've taken the lead and not drop points from, we've got to learn from that. So our game management's got to be better. My recruitment's got to be better. I've got a couple wrong without a shadow of a doubt. But we've got to defend better as a team, because I think the first goal that we conceded, Sido's own goal, I think the players just not again, and that's where we've been this season. It's been quick goals. We've had a mindset where we haven't been able to get win after win after win, and that's been it's been a long, tough season, and tougher than it should have been. But we've got to just make sure that the group's brighter, the group's better, and that's down to me to get it right.
Are there particular types of players you're looking to recruit?
Yeah, there are. Yeah, and I'll talk about that down the line, a little bit further down the line. I think this season, I think it would be stupid of me just to go, right, we're on to next season. Listen, we've got to learn. I've got to digest what's gone on, how we've gone about things. Obviously, the board have gone down the route that they want to change one or two things, and that's we've got to make sure that we do it in a positive way. Make sure we do it for the good of everybody, and start again.
It must have been odd for you today not having your hat alongside you.
Of course it was, but not a problem. I asked Russ and Jamie to come and help me with a warm-up. Russ has helped me all week on the training ground. Listen, Neil's, of course, but he's been here a long time. But that's not why we got beat today or anything like that. It's weird. It was weird, a little bit strange today, but listen, that's life, and we have to get on with it.
Was it Neil's choice not to be here today? Because I know a number of fans were hoping.
Listen, you'd have to ask Neil. Yeah, you'd have to ask Neil. I believe it was. I haven't tried to intrude too much into him this week. I've left him to it. We spoke a number of times, and yeah, I think once he was made aware of the situation, I think it was his decision to. So he didn't feel right to be back in today.
One of the first things you're going to have to do is to let players know their fate.
Yeah.
Presumably those decisions are now clearly made. It's just a case of having a conversation.
Yeah.
And when will you be doing that?
Tuesday, Wednesday this week, probably. Yeah. Tuesday or Wednesday. Tuesday and Wednesday. A couple can't come on Tuesday, so they'll be on Wednesday.
And will there be a possibility that some players in contract will be having conversations?
I'll be having a conversation with every single person at the football club, on the playing side, on the coaching side, and we'll have a proper review as we would anyway, as we did 2 years ago, as we did last year. Even the ones going will, I'll spend time talking to them, explaining my decisions, why. The ones who are here next season will get what they need. They'll get a programme. They'll get for the close season what they need to do when they're coming back, what they need to do to get before they come back, and to make sure that everybody needs to be better. Not the standards that we've set today, that this season haven't been anywhere near the standards that we've set, and everything's got to be tighter. I understand that, and that comes from me. And you try and run it a certain way, and for a couple of years it's worked really, really well. This year with this group, it hasn't quite been the same. We haven't got that togetherness, camaraderie amongst the group, and I think that's gone some way to show into the performances and the results that we've got.
You've been through rebuilding jobs at Cheltenham before.
Yeah.
Do you approach them in the same way as in the previous time, or do you now think, now you've been more experienced in managing, you do things slightly differently?
I think we'll do things slightly different because of what the chairman's asked me to do in terms of my backroom stuff. I think we need just to see where we're going with that, and get back to playing solid, decent football, but not conceding the goals that we have done this year. We need to, like I say, it starts today. It starts today about trying to get to understanding where we've gone wrong, where it hasn't worked for us, and then over the coming weeks, recruitment's going to be massive, and we're trying to get the best we can. The budget, I don't imagine the budget's going up particularly, so we've got to make sure that we spend well, and we've got to have a squad that's been better than this season.
And a final question, Mark. You're obviously not just recruiting on the playing side, you're recruiting on the coaching side as well. Have you, in your own mind, got people you'd like to bring on the coaching side?
Obviously, since it happened, I've